Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have an update to share with you guys on a story that I shared on Monday, I think it was, about Peter Attia. So, for those who didn't catch the segment, Attia is a doctor. He is one of these medical gurus. He's like the manosphere, health guru kind of guys. And so he recently landed a CBS News gig as a contributor. It was just revealed, though, that his name showed up almost 2,000 times in the Epstein files. Now, he is not accused of doing anything wrong. He's not accused of, anything disgusting. But he and Epstein exchanged more than 1,000 emails over the years. And it included one that was particularly gross. And instead of flying back home to California to be with his family when his infant son had a heart attack, he stayed in New York for 10 more days after his wife called him and said, "Hey, I'm in the ICU, or I'm on the way to the hospital with our son who just stopped breathing, our baby." And it was revealed that he met up with Epstein the day after his baby was admitted to the ICU, the day after his son almost died. Instead of going home to be with his wife and child, he was hanging out with Epstein. Again, no indication that he did anything wrong, but just, on its face, I mean, that just is beyond like sociopathic, in my opinion, right? Like, what is wrong with you? So Attia, he has now issued this lengthy apology. I have some of it to share with you. It was really long, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. But evidently, there's this big battle going on at CBS about whether or not to fire him. So CBS editor-in-chief Barry Weiss, she is 100% on his side. She wants to keep Attia. Everybody else is saying, no, guy's got to go. And for anybody who isn't familiar with Barry Weiss, she's scum of the earth herself. So here's why I can't stand her. I mean, besides the fact that she appears to be just a total blatant shill for Israel who doesn't care about Palestinian children being gunned down and blown up and starved to death. She claims that she is this free speech, anti-cancel culture warrior. It is so far from the truth. She is such a fraud. When Weiss was in college, she targeted and tried to end the careers of Muslim professors and Arab professors, anybody who dared to criticize Israel. So this was an article that was written in 2018 by Glenn Greenwald. You can see it here. And this was just one of several that he wrote over the years, detailing her behavior and how egregious it was and how she went after these people. So Weiss is someone who believes in free speech as long as the person speaking agrees with her. But if you criticize Israel, even if it's just the government, the country that she actually pledges allegiance to, then she's going to try to get you fired. So, I guess she's totally cool, if you ditch your gravely ill baby to go hang out with the most notorious pedophile in the world, right? Because that pedophile also pledged his allegiance to Israel. So that's who Barry Weiss is. That's who's running CBS, who was put in place by the Ellisons, who are one of Donald Trump's biggest donors. So I just want to give you guys that backstory so you guys are going to understand what a massive hypocrite this woman is when we're talking about this Attia story, because it's being reported that Weiss is just really going to the mat for him. And she is refusing to fire Attia because she says she doesn't want to give in to the quote unquote mob. So this article was just published. We'll see what happens with this power struggle. As for Attia and his so-called apology letter, The guy is just full of shit. I'm sorry, but he just is. I mean, we have a lot in common with our beliefs on alternative medicine and longevity and stuff, but yeah, sorry, no. So his letter, an apology, started out okay, I guess. Like, he pretty much just apologized for getting caught. Like, oh, sorry, I put myself in a position where my emails would be outed. It's like, okay. Um, but he made one statement, which it was just like the final straw for me. Total lie. Total lie. So I'll explain that in a moment. But here's what Attia shared on Twitter. So again, this is just a fraction of it because it was pages and pages. So this was an email that he sent to his team. He sent it to his patients, and he apologized, kind of, sort of explained that basically, I was a pick me boy at that point. Like, he was just enamored with Epstein, with all the money that he had, the people that he associated with, and he assumed that Epstein must be legitimate because of the people that he was affiliated and associated with. Here's where Attia just completely is busted and lost me. Okay, so he wrote that I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he said, shortly after we met, I asked him, meaning Epstein, directly about his 2008 conviction. He characterized it as prostitution-related charges. In 2018, I came to learn this was grossly minimized. And then you skip down further toward the bottom, and it says, in November 2018, I read the Miami Herald investigative article. I was repulsed by what I learned, nauseated. It marked a clear and irreversible line between what I knew before and what I understood afterward. At that point, I told him directly he needed to accept responsibility for what he did. Really? Really? Did you? Did you tell him directly, you need to take responsibility, you filthy scumbag pedophile? Is that what you said, Attia? Really? Because I'd like to see that email, because these are the emails that we do have. So this is what Attia sent to Epstein on December 4th of 2018. So he's saying November 2018, I realized what a complete and disgusting, vile pedo this guy was, and I put him in his place. December, not even a month later, maybe a month later, after he claims to be repulsed and nauseated by what he learned, here's what he emailed. Okay. So he writes, or I guess I should back up. Jeffrey Epstein says to him, how's things going? And Attia says, home is very good. Work stressful, making some changes. What is fallout from recent story? Really? That's it? That's your repulsed, I'm appalled, I'm shocked, I'm beside myself. Really? What's the fallout from your recent story? Oh, okay. And then, so that was, 9:16 in the morning. Jeffrey Epstein had replied and said, same as usual, just tougher. Attia responds with this: legally, any change? Where are the emails, Attia? Where are the emails showing you admonishing him, telling him to take responsibility? No, the only emails that are in this batch that they just released are these friendly exchanges asking about, hey, any fallout? So you read a story filled with the most grotesque details, the most disgusting, heinous acts against children imaginable, being abused, being threatened, being trafficked to other men. And your only response, your concern is, hey, did you get in any trouble? Yeah, sounds like you were really repulsed, Peter. And so, of course, this makes you question everything else that Attia said in his so-called apology, right? I mean, there was a part in the emails. There was one email in particular that everybody keeps asking about where he sent an email to Epstein and the subject line was, got a new shipment. And then Epstein responded, so did I. And he sent him a picture of a woman. Okay, a woman or a girl, I don't know, because the DOJ redacted the photo. But Attia claims he was talking about a shipment of the prescription drug metformin. He said, oh, I just got a shipment of it and, for my own use, I was just letting him know. So we have to wonder now, is that legitimate? Are you being honest about that? So there has been fallout. There's at least one company that has now cut ties with him. So this article just came up yesterday. He has now stepped down. He had a position with this company as the chief science officer. It's a protein company. They make protein bars. It's called David Protein. Here's the thing. Like, I am not about taking away someone's livelihood, destroying their life over an honest mistake, right? Past comments. You can change. People, regardless of what people may say, people can change. I believe that 100%, especially like very few people, with the exception of, like the frat boys that Donald Trump has working for him, very few people are the same person that in their 20s that they are when they're 40 and 50 and older, right? You can make comments that are less than flattering and they don't reflect on who you may be today. The issue I have with this guy is that he wasn't some young, dumb kid when all of this went down. Okay, he is 52 right now. So when he did this to his wife and his baby, he was like 43. When he was hanging out with Epstein and making these comments and sending him these messages and ignoring his pedophilia, he was in his 40s. Okay, not a young kid that made a mistake. So I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, but anyone who would just like blow off his baby who gets admitted to ICU after not breathing and having a heart attack, I mean, at the very least, you're a narcissist and you lack any and all empathy. So not exactly someone that I would take advice from. So I will let you know if I hear any more. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.